good ideas are gonna come to your head in life, especially if you live 70 years. A good life is gonna come to your mind. So if you're using your brain in life, ideas will just naturally surface over time. So honestly, I would say if you get good ideas, take it and apply it to your life. I advise if you have great thoughts or ideas that you would write them down or apply them to your life somehow. Like let's say you're in the shower or in bed at night, and you just have the greatest idea of all time. You're like, wow, that's such a great idea. Maybe I'm gonna do something with it tomorrow, and then you go to sleep and you never remember the idea. That's a huge problem. Like I feel like, you could have all these great ideas, but you don't ever apply them, so you're never getting that growth that's needed to become, Albert Einstein of this generation. People might call you stupid, and maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. However, maybe it's because when those great ideas do come to your mind, it's that you don't actually use them, or maybe that it's that you're preventing good ideas from coming to you. Perhaps that's another issue. Like if you want to be all wise and stuff, you need to have an open, clear mind, because if you do, then all this stuff just kind of naturally starts flowing to you. Not, I don't know if it's scientific or not, but for me personally, like when I have open mind, I'm very non opinion. I try to remove the opinion from either side. Is when I could see the full truth to which side is actually morally correct and which is not. That is when I remove whatever shades I have on, so my lenses are clear. One piece of advice is if you want your great thoughts or ideas to stick with you or to be able to actually use them rather than just letting them go in the wind and just not using them at all. I feel like you should find a way to apply them somehow. And how do I do that? I do that by either making these random videos or these voice messages to myself, or I just I'll write it down, or I will also start telling myself it. Like I'll remind myself of it. And the more you start reminding yourself of these good ideas or methods that you've been discovering, is when you can actually start to change your life because of them. If are like, oh wow, great idea, but you never actually, if you want to, let's say, become a UFC fighter or something, let's just say that. If you want to become a UFC fighter, you can't just the dream it gets planted in your mind, but if you never do anything about it, then obviously you'll never be. Maybe not. Maybe you're a natural, but most likely you won't be anything because you don't apply that methodology or idea or that dream that you had to your life. If something great comes to your mind, no matter what it is, if you think it's great, I strongly suggest you start following it, or you writing it down, these good ideas, or you implement them to your life somehow. Try to apply them to your life rather than just being like, oh, whatever, it happened, just let it go. Like these ideas come extremely randomly, but you also forget them like really fast or just kind of randomly. Like they'll come to you randomly, but as they come, they also go randomly. Like you'll just randomly be sitting there, or you could be in a conversation with someone talking about God knows what, and then like you have this crazy realization, and then you're like, wow, that's so cool, but you never actually do anything with it. And you're just like, whatever, and you just keep going on in life. Then you probably will forget that, and perhaps if this realization or idea or whatnot could have benefited you in some way, then you are actually hurting yourself in growth and becoming, a higher level human. So that's kind of another part of this is if you do, apply these great ideas and things that come to your head, then you can really start to get levels ahead of a lot of people because a lot of people are too lazy to do anything like that. Like they'll get the idea, but then they'll just be too lazy. They'll just talk about it. They'll never actually do anything about it. If you apply these great things to your life that you see, then your life will really like be affected by it. And also, it could be a bad way if those devious thoughts are what are controlling you. But if you see it that way, personally I do. But well, whatever. But when these thoughts or whatever come to your head, I feel like you should, rather than just let them go like a fart in the wind, you should try to catch the fart in midair with a jar. Put that in a quote book. Like a good example for my life of applying my ideas is making these videos or by journaling or by literally applying this stuff to my life or all three in general. Like because if I'm, just in the mood to make a video, it's never a mood. It just kind of comes to me naturally, like randomly. I'll get an idea and I'll be like, gotta use it. Because when you don't use, or personally for me, when I don't apply an idea that I get, like right at that very moment, if I wait like an hour, maybe 30 minutes even, I'll be like, or maybe the next day, I'll be like, what was that idea? And then, you forget it. And then that great idea that you could have had, that could have possibly been life-changing advice for someone or for your own life, it just is gone because you were too lazy to, you know, put it down or talk about it or whatnot or apply it to your life. And I feel like if there are more people that or not even more people, but like I feel like it's a good thing to do. Like because if you're spreading these great ideas that you have, I'm glazing myself hard, but or these things you see, then people can see your perspective, and seeing multiple perspectives is a good thing because you could see other people view things differently from others. Not just the videos, but also journaling is huge too. I journal about every night, or even I have little notes, but I do nightly, and then I have my extra stuff. When I see something, let's say I'm watching YouTube videos, and they're spitting fire. If you don't take notes on what that great advice they're giving, most likely you are going to forget it. I'm not gonna lie. Like these people, they could be telling you, this could be the greatest video you've ever seen, but if you're not attentively watching it, even if you are and you're not applying it to your life or doing anything with the great information you have, it's just gonna slip away out of your hands. So, I feel like once it's presented to you, you have to act fast. It's like if you leave meat out, like a steak, if you leave it out too long, it's gonna rot. But if you cook it, it'll probably be great. So that's kind of how it goes. Overall, from this video, I'm gonna advise you to, if something great comes to mind, then pursue it and actually do something with it. Because if you don't, then it's just gonna cease to exist. And whatever you could have just realized, whatever that is, it could be extremely have an extreme effect on society or whatnot if you just express it. So, express yourself. If you have freedom, that's a blessing too. We'll get to that in another video. But if you have freedom, be blessed for it. And if you got the freedom of speech, use it.